We've been promoted from cricketers to rugby players now. Everyone happy with that?
Got smiles all round, and I think when it gets into a bit of contact, that could get a bit tasty.
Hi guys, so good morning, it's nice to meet you. My name's Mickey, I'm the Disability and Social Inclusion Officer at Sale Sharks. I coach and work from anywhere from special educational needs schools, mainstream schools, colleges, youth offenders and prisons, so work over quite a lot of different projects. One of the projects is Wheelchair Rugby, which we're going to do today. We're going to have some fun. I like to sit down when I'm coaching Wheelchair Rugby. We'll see if we can get in the wheelchairs first and then we'll get started. Feet are on the footplate behind the bumper. Does anyone have any injuries that I should know about before we get started? As long as it doesn't get more of a thing, that's the main thing.
Today we've got Sale Sharks in, so we are currently teaching an inclusive practice module, and the module's called Inclusive PE. So we're focusing on helping our students practice teaching anybody with an SEND and disability. And we've got Sale Sharks in doing Wheelchair Rugby. We've got Mickey, who's a specialist inclusion officer. So he's currently running Wheelchair Rugby session. At the end, bit of a Q&A with him to learn about his job, ask for advice. They're loving it at the moment. Smiles all round, and I think when it gets into a bit of contact, that could get a bit tasty. But yeah, it's going really well.
You've got to roll into a space, not a face. Sharks, you can bump the front of the chair on the bumper or the front half of the wheel, but don't go mad. What we're going to do is we're going to move it on. So progression, what do you think we could do?
Have more attacking.
Yeah, so we could have more bumpers, yep. We could also make the area smaller. What would that do?
Make it easier.
More traffic, yeah, so player led. What do you think we should do? Should we put some more people in or more bumpers?
Another ball and more bumpers. Yeah.
Keeping it the same size, so?
Yeah, same size.
Same size. Two more bumpers.
Set our height so make it feel more welcome.
Perfect.
Student demonstrations with sampling.
Perfect. What else?
Shows different type of passing.
Type of catching you get, Sean.
Yeah. So your variation equipment, got specific language. He's communicated in 3 different ways. Do you know which ways they are?
Oh, that Makaton.
To use Makaton to underpin. So if you watched when he talks, especially as he was coaching, every single thing he talked about, he used a sign for as well. So as he spoke, he said, make sure you keep your feet inside the bar, make sure your toes do not pass over. Every single thing he did, whether it was actual Makaton or just a visual aid, had sign language added to it.
Yeah.
What else did he do? He's doing it now.
Sitting down.
Sitting down. Why is he sitting down?
Like, so he's our height.
Yeah.
Exactly. So rather than having everybody in wheelchairs and being the teacher up here, joining everybody down there, when else would you use a chair like that? Say wheelchairs weren't involved.
Coaching children because they're quite smart.
Bang on. Coaching children. So if you're coaching children, best thing to do, actually, either take a knee, or if you have a chair, sit down on a chair and you're suddenly at their level, puts them at ease. Especially coaching infants. You are 2 or 3 foot taller, you look scary, and especially if you have to tell a few of them off, telling them off can be really tough. Like my personal experience, A, I'm bald, B, I used to have a very big beard, and C, if I get angry, veins pop out of my neck and my forehead like there's no tomorrow. That when you shout if you shout at an infant, scares the life out of them. So actually, if you notice, it's not just the fact he's sitting down, he changes his tone of voice, talks softly, talks with a smile on his face, and then uses hand signals with smiles, all be one encompassing piece of communication.
So we're having an inclusive sports session with Wheelchair Rugby. We've invited them in to give our students an experience about what it's like to work with inclusive sports and the different skills, behaviours and qualities that coaches need. So our students are sort of looking at the coaching practice, but are also looking at the coach and how the coach behaves and applies the different skills and design of the session as well. This whole module that we're doing at the moment, professional practice, is all about them developing the skills needed for the industry. And so, you know, they'll be learning stuff today that they can then go and apply out in the industry and put on the CV. So an example of that is tomorrow they're running a multi-skills festival for around 100 school children. So they've, you know, some of the skills they're using today and things they're picking up, they'll be able to take into that as well. I think they're doing well. They seem to be having fun, smiling, and having opportunities to smash into each other in wheelchairs, so they're enjoying it, yeah.
It can be a chest pass, it can be a bounce pass. So very similar size to a wheelchair rugby ball. Fortunately, somebody used the bag. That's one thing you've got to worry about when you're a coach full time. Someone goes in your bag, takes things out and doesn't put it back. So we'll have a game now, but we'll use this ball instead of that. Excellent work, guys, well done.
We've joined in with the PE where they're learning how to do or listening to a shadowing a session on wheelchair rugby, learning the basics and introduction to rugby. We've kind of jumped in on that and it's been a really good session, enjoyed it. It was more of a player-led coaching session, so it's kind of like letting you do what you want to do, so it's more inclusive to everyone so they can enjoy it more rather than having certain constraints, which has made it more enjoyable.
There's inclusive rugby, wheelchair rugby, there's mental well-being for primary schools and secondary schools, which is really rewarding. Or I could be working with the forces, going on visits to other organisations with our veterans, days like this. So it is a very varied job. We tend to do 2 schools a day, one in the morning for a couple of hours, one in the afternoon, and we've got a little gap. You've got to know yourself as well as a coach. You've got to understand that, you know, you are human, and we're very good at sale because it's a small team, asking for help for people to come on sessions with you. Any other questions?